Geshe-la is just pulled up, so let's bring the volume down a bit and get ready for Geshe-la's arrival. He might circumambulate, so, you know. Hey, Carmen. Hi, Cecilia. Hi, Christine. Geshe-la has arrived. Okay. Geshe-la is here, but he's circumambulating.
In the Gold Prayer Book, please turn to page 34. And we'll start with Shakyamuni Buddha's mantra 3 times, the Medicine Buddha verse of praise and mantra, and the mantra 7 times. Then I think it's a short one. No, 4 measurables. They're all on page 34. Te ata mune mune maha munaye soha. Te ata mune mune maha munaye soha. Te ata mune mune maha munaye soha. Bhagawan, with equal compassion for all, whose name, when merely heard, dispels the suffering of the lower realms, dispeller of disease and the three poisons, I prostrate to Medicine Buddha, lapis lazuli. Teata Om Bekkanze, Bekkanze, Maha Bekkanze, Bekkanze, Raja Samugate Soha. Teata Om Bekkanze, Bekkanze, Maha Bekkanze, Bekkanze, Raja Samugate Soha. Teata Om Bekkanze, Bekkanze, Maha Bekkanze, Bekkanze, Raja Samugate Soha. Teata Om Bekkanze, Bekkanze, Maha Bekkanze, Bekkanze, Raja Samugate Soha. Teata Om Bekkanze, Bekkanze, Maha Bekkanze, Bekkanze, Raja Samugate Soha. Teata Om Bekkanze, Bekkanze, Maha Bekkanze, Bekkanze, Raja Samugate Soha. Teata Om Bekkanze, Bekkanze, Maha Bekkanze, Bekkanze, Raja Samugate Soha. The four measurables. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends or hatred for enemies. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends or hatred for enemies. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends or hatred for enemies. Now page 37, the verse of praise and mantras for Chenrezig Green Tara. First, the one for Chenrezig. Not veiled by any fault, white in color, whose head of perfect Buddha crowns in light, gazing compassionately at all beings. To you, Chenrezig, all-seeing one, I prostrate. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Tare liberates from cyclic existence. Tutare liberates from the 8 fears. Ture liberates from all sickness. I prostrate to the liberator Mother Tara. Om Tare Tu Re Soha. 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 Now please turn to page 34, and Geshe will lead us in the refuge and bodhicitta prayer.
So some of you, if you are not familiar with the prayer, just set up the whole purpose of this prayer is to set up positive intentions. What that really means think something good while you are here. Think something positive, something good. So that's what it means, setting up positive motivation, okay? So then you say the prayer or not say prayer doesn't really matter. So think something positive. Sanje chodan soje chonam la chanju pardon dane. Dagi chushinji sunamji dola pinji sanje. Sanje chodan soje chonam la. Dagi chushinji sunamji dola pinji sanje. Sanje chodan. Dagi chushinji dola pinji sanje. Tata ala me na me yanji ongo na wanja jela so chue jela chawa chawa. Sanje sungsa rabdo shi jin dewe jin jumbo teta shi jin tampe chue jin den dri shi chi. Namo ala yenge dalo na ne yenge te wada na me yenge na 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 wanya na na jina tamje ke do. Chue ten do. Kanke tu zen je so ne tawa tamje. Wadam de la cha tse. Oh yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, my friend, good morning. Can you see? There's a cat, beautiful cat, with wisdom eye. Wisdom eye. This one. Oh, looks like everybody drunk. This is in case if you didn't sleep very well last night. Welcome to take nap during the class. No need to worry. Simple like that. Oh yeah. Any questions?
There is one actually.
Okay.
Do you want to hear it now?
Yeah. But
Okay.
then I will read.
Sorry. Here we go. I'm going to cut it and paste it into the chat so people can see it. Hang on one second, Geshe-la. I'm sorry.
The book that I'm reading is from His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. It has many topics. One second. That one that I've been reading now, so far read few weeks. It's called Chanchu Gisim. No, Chanchu Gisim. Changchup, Tibetan word, Changchup. Body, Sanskrit called body, meaning full enlightenment. Full enlightenment. Sim is mean mind, your mind, my mind, our mind. So that wish to become fully enlightened. For what? Just to benefit, that's all. Just to benefit. Whom? Not just Tibetan, American, every living being, every living being. That's the wish. That's called bodhicitta. Altruistic intentions. If you practice that, you get maximum benefit, maximum benefit. Those are the... Teaching Shugo Jugdebes. Quoting, I'm quoting Lama Atisha. So, you see here, Lama Atisha. So there's the Indian master, the big statue here, Lama Atisha. Composed this text called light of the path, light of the path to enlightenment. The text was composed inside Tibet, not India, inside Tibet. So in that text, what Lama Atisha said, Teje Chungo Judebes, if you wish to enter into Mahayana path, Buddhism, Theravada traditions, widely practiced Thailand, Burma, Cambodia, Laos, those countries. Mahayana Buddhists, widely practiced in Tibet, Mongolia, China, Japan, Korea, Vietnam, that area. So Mahayana Buddhism, there's so much emphasis, emphasis or emphasize? Emphasis. Probably need another life to learn. Emphasis, so much emphasis has been put on altruistic intentions. That's the way to go. For full enlightenment means everlasting happiness. For yourself, for each and every living beings. That's called Mahayana path. Maha, same like Mahatma Gandhi. Maha means big. Yana is the path, bigger path. Bigger path. So like Teje, that's how it sounds in Tibetan. That's how it sounds like in Tibetan. Tekchen, Tek, Yana, Chen, big path. Tekchen, meaning Mahayana. Teje, who said? Lama Atisha said. Teje Chungo Judebes. Chogo means practice. If someone has wished to enter into Mahayana path, Munsel Dunga Shicheba, Munsel. Mun literally means darkness. Sel means eliminate darkness. It's not physical darkness. Here it refers to not knowing, not understanding. So much mistakes been made. Spiritual level, mundane level, so much mistakes been made, like unknown, just assuming. Could be incorrectly assuming consciousness. Could be incorrectly assuming consciousness. No, it's not correctly assuming consciousness, unfortunately. So, Munsel, dispel ignorance. Dungal, problems, complication problems, all kind of complications related to this body, a lot of them related to causes from the mind, the way we think, all kind of complications. Dunga shichepas. It will ease, eliminate, reduce ignorance, all the complication problems. Dunga shichepa. Nidata bi chanju sims. Bodhicitta is which is like moon and sun. Nidata bi chanju sims. Kawe bebe chejang rungs. If you put effort to develop or to generate that powerful mind, it is possible. Not piece of cake, but it's possible. Not piece of cake, but it's possible. So there's a kawe bebe chejang rungs. So that's from Lama Atisha. So then before Lama Atisha, there's another Indian master called Shantideva. So the text has been written like Guide to Bodhisattva Way of Life. That text has been written around 8th centuries. That master also from India. What Shantideva said about bodhicitta, Teve, Kyonga, Kunseve, Kyo, sadness, depressions. Kyonga. Kun means all, Sel means eliminate. You don't have to, I'm not asking you to believe, I'm asking you to analyze. Use your own brain. Is that true? Analyze. Who said? Shantideva said, when around 8th century, is there something to learn? Is that true? Time to analyze. Tewe kyonga kunseves. Chanju semji tashunes. Chanju sem bodhicitta. That means horse. It's a powerful horse. If you manage to ride that horse, where that horse will bring Chanju semji tashun, then dewa doalas. Happiness to happiness. Physical happiness and mental happiness, you could also interpret it that way. Then dewa. Or you could say first happiness refers to the path, or second happiness refers to the result, which is in this case enlightenment. The first happiness is the Mahana path. The second happiness, because there's the word happiness 2 times it's been said. Dene dewa. Dene means from the happiness path, Mahana, to reach happiness result, enlightenment. Then dewa doala. Tebe chonga kunsewe chanju simche tashune. Then dewa doala. Semi sushik julu jurus. If you understand that, if you understand from the deeper level, why you discourage to practice bodhicitta? Why you discourage to be kind, be loving, caring, respectful? There's nothing to worry about. There's only gain. In your society that you live in may consider there's some kind of weakness, but actually it's the power, it's the mental power. It's not weakness, it's the mental power. What is the weakness? Jealousy, anger, attachment, these are all weakness. Bodhicitta is not weakness, compassion is not weakness, loving is good things. Being kind, that's the good things. Being caring, that's the good things, being arrogant, being like a negative, or like being judgmental, these are not good things. It's not just about religious business. It's for your life, it's not good. When you do that, you don't feel good. Then why you do? Doesn't make sense. Why you do? So that's from the Master Shanti Deva. Then the Chanju Teve Chonga Kunsewe Chanju Semja Tashune. Then Dewa Doala Semyo Sushik Juluju. If you have a mind, why you get discouraged to practice bodhicitta? So this is the just how you say heads up. How you say heads up? Heads up. Just heads up for the topic. So now question.
The book is The Joy of Living and Dying in Peace by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. It looks different than Geshe-la's. Geshe-la's copy is in Tibetan. So,
and also so many extra things that I added up. So like any mistake besides that if you don't see in the book, all the mistake there goes to me.
Okay, so the question is from a Sunday Dharma talk a few weeks ago when we were talking about meditation and specifically the space between thoughts and what is the self. So the question is the true self the space between the thoughts, the emptiness, the nothingness, the stillness, the clear, still water? Is that why we experience peace meditating on the space between the thoughts? Because that's who we are? That's the true self? Question. Can you speak more about emptiness or that space and what it means from a Buddhist perspective?
Time to go home. Time to go home. So many things. The first looks like the space between thought and emptiness, and who we are.
Yes, and are we that emptiness or that space between the thoughts?
Are we? So let's discuss what is space between empty thought. how you define space between thought. What is it? What is it? What is it? Please, no pressures. If you are willing to share, please, yeah, do. So maybe today the books is going to holiday, going back inside here. Oh, you know, yeah. Uh, mm. Yeah, this is for people who are listening online here, so that they could hear you.
Hello? Hello?
Uh,
Okay. It's been a while since I've heard myself on a hot mic and it's super weird. The space between is just stillness. It's just absence of thought. It's when you've just stopped
very good,
in between occurrences.
very good, wonderful. Thank you, thank you. Anybody else? But let's go out. The one thing that if you read, in case, if you're going to read that text, Tibetan text, in that text it did not say space, so that needs to be clarified. Otherwise, oh, finally I found the text reading. Geshe-la keeps saying space. There's no space. Yeah, there's no. It didn't word it like that. What it says in the Nawa Pembe, Nawa appearances, Nawa legitimate appearances, something that appear, could be anything, Nawa. Pembe means like you can't say this is that, this is that, or this, you can't pinpoint. Here, like you can't really say, it's just, so that's why I thought that's similar like space between thought, no different, Nawa Pembe. Okay, so that just to clarify, in the near future, if you read the text, so then please don't blame me.
I just have to have a question because I'm trying to understand it myself.
Hmm?
Is that space between thought, is that calm abiding? Is that samadhi? Is that, if that's so, then that's what we're trying to achieve. It's not who we are.
Calm abiding is part of the mental qualities, is part of the concentrations. The best form of concentration is called shamatha, shine. So samadhi is like more like not necessarily shamatha. Samadhi means before shamatha, concentrations, ability to, not ability, we all have abilities, but able to concentrate on one single object. Able to place all your mental attention into one single object. That's called samadhi. That's called concentration. Okay, that's more related to the mental things.
Shamatha, is that
That is like
is that calm abiding?
Yeah, exactly. That's calm abiding. 9 stages. You go through 9 different stages. In the last 9 stages, that's where you achieve shamatha. So that result will be physical pliancy, physically feel very light, mentally always feel joy. That's the result. That's the result. Yeah.
Hello. Okay. So the way that I've been looking at it too, because I've had trying to concentrate more on the lack of self, which is a very kind of probably Western point of view, and the emptiness, the thought of emptiness in Buddhism. So the space between thought for me is kind of like that emptiness, and which is a positive thing.
Emptiness of thought.
Emptiness of thought.
Okay, good, very good.
And then, so space between thought. And then to me, that's also peace.
Yep, yeah, yes,
because
yes.
You're not without lack of distractions. And so for me, it's more like trying to achieve the space between thought, which is therefore kind of emptiness, which is something that we do want to actually get to, because in emptiness, there's also that lack of self, the thought of self. So I'm trying to kind of pull all of those things that they brought into question. The way that I focus to it is the path is like the space between thought gives you peace and lack of self, which is the emptiness, which is almost the end goal.
That's good. So now there's it's quite getting quite like deep. So here, so hold 1 second, please. Which word is a better choice? Like, should we say absence of thought or emptiness of thought?
Absence.
Which one?
Absence of thought. You've just stopped thinking.
Technically, if you say technically, so if you say emptiness of thought, technically it's incorrect.
You've stopped conceiving.
But I think which word, for based on your experience, which word is better? Absence of thought or emptiness of thought?
Absence for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think for
It's okay. We discuss like this is okay. Yeah, the book is getting holiday here, break. So it's already went into the house. Not coming out.
I think emptiness is a little bit more powerful for me personally, just because of the thought process in Buddhism of emptiness is actually a positive thing, where typically I feel in Western culture, if you think emptiness, it kind of has negative connotations.
That's not good. That's not good at all. That's not good.
That's the way
Yeah.
we've kind of been trained and thought emptiness is bad. Emptiness is you're lonely.
No.
When more emptiness is more a good, what you kind of want to obtain. So I don't know in that particular scenario if space between thought is like, absence versus emptiness. But to me, I just think that emptiness has had a lot of negative connotations here in the Western world, where it should be a little bit more positive.
Yeah, so it's like emptiness is like, let's go 1 second, I will come back to you. Okay, the second, there's a lady behind there. So 1 moment, so let's go. So now their questions are getting complicated here. Yeah, that's good, that's very good. So it's can open up our brain. So now here, yeah, it's kind of unfortunate in English word emptiness. If it has negative connotation, it's kind of unfortunate. But Tongba Ni, yeah, that's a literally translation of word. Tongba Ni, ness is called Ni, means ness. Empty is literally, when you translate, is empty. So then I don't like the people do translate because the word emptiness, like that's how Tongba Ni, Chuni. Now another word, suchness, better? Not better.
Sameness?
Suchness.
Suchness.
There's two words. Tongbani, emptiness. Translation of word. Tongbani, emptiness. Chuni, suchness. In English, that's how they translate suchness. Sanskrit. Shunyata. Shun, peace. Shun means peace. So peaceful, like Shunshan. Because the Panditji is there. Oh, if someone speak like Sanskrit. Shunyata, that's how sounds emptiness in Sanskrit language. Shun means peace. That make 100% sense. When you experience, you are with peace. When you experience that shunyata or emptiness. So now, other way to you can say conventional realities. Everything that we touch, see, is all called conventional realities. And there's another thing called ultimate realities. Ultimate reality that we are not corresponding with that day-to-day life. So now, now we're Tongpa Madhivshin. So according to Mahamudra teaching composed by Panchen Lobsa Chuji, one of the Panchen Lama, kind of sums up idea of emptiness. Now we're Tongpa Madhivshin. Now, how you see, of course, yourself included, how you see yourself, how you see this. What is the Do you see this is just, these things exist from its own side? Do you see this is like independent existence? Or you see, oh, this is like somebody painted, this is a top, then, when you analyze, this is called, someone decided to call this prayer will. So now when you see like independent prayer will. You don't see, oh, it's just part, then, when you take apart, each part, when you take out, where is prayer will? Where's prayer will? If you take it apart, where's prayer will? Same like car. If you take apart, where's car now? The beautiful car that you drive, you take apart, now where's that beautiful car? Where it went? Do you still see the car? Very hard to see the car. It's there, but you don't really see. Maybe the way you see the car is something absolute, solid, independent, and not dependent on different parts. That's how something becomes car. That's called now. The way you see now. For in your mind, when you are meditating on emptiness, reading, thinking, your knowledge of emptiness is getting better. So in now your mind, absence, and appearances mean same thing. It's not for you. It's not different. It's same thing. Right now, it's so hard. When I think about absence of prayer will, I kind of lose the idea of prayer will. When I have idea of the prayer will, I can't really think about the absence of prayer will. These two looks very much contradictions. So that's how the Panchen Lobsa Chuji sums up the idea of shunyata. For you, the same thing. When you say absence, mean appearances. Appearance means absence, the same thing. So, but again, shunyata is called the Masam Jume. That you remember the stanza from before the Heart Sutra. One
I
second.
prostrate to the Sublime Mother, victorious ones of the three times, the inexpressible,
Yeah,
inconceivable, indescribable.
Yeah, that's much better English here. Can you hear?
Inexpressible, inconceivable, indescribable perfection of wisdom.
Can't really explain the way you experience. Doesn't mean I experience. No. I have zero experience. I hear, don't expect any experience here. Here's just big zero here. There's no experience at all. No experience. Just talking, that's all. So when you experience, like when you can't explain, if somebody asks you to please explain the taste of what? Taste of chocolate chip cookie. That's very good. Or if someone asks you, please explain taste of milk, taste of yogurt. Please explain. Can you explain? There's really nothing much to say. Does that mean you don't experience? Of course you do experience. Of course you experience. But you can't really explain. The best thing, you just drink milk. Then you know the taste. No, it's much better if you drink the milk, then you taste the flavor of milk. If somebody else would explain, it's very hard to explain. How you explain? Does that mean you don't experience? You do experience. There's a number of things. It's kind of hard to explain. That's why emptiness is one of them. So now here another again. Then I will come to you. Okay, I'll lack of self. Self exists. There's no debate. There's no question. Self exists. That's why we have pain. That's why we have happiness. Self exists. But it doesn't exist the way we experience. Think, please think. I'm not asking you to believe, just think. So how, like, what is your version of self? Yourself. What's your version of yourself? How you define? Two things, body and mind. You go through them, ask, am I my hair? Am I my head? Am I my eye? Am I my name? Go through them, all of them. What do you find? What's your answer? So now your idea of self is becoming more complicated, more subtle, never thought of, just never thought of. Why I should think, according to Buddhism, is important because everything's come from there. Everything's become so attached to self, have very little clue. So then from there, my country, my people, my tribe, my religion, my idea, my opinion, then that list goes on and on. Therefore, it's important because it's the root. It's important to find out how you define self. So then even going like doing this meditation back and forth, thinking of that need has the emptiness is like harder to learn, of course, harder to learn. It's like it's hard to learn. Relatively easy to meditate. Bodhicitta, loving kindness, compassion, so easy to learn, so difficult to put into practice. Not easy. So now thinking back and forth, what is emptiness, like who am I, like what is self, then thinking like they're going back. Eventually you're kind of like wondering about the idea of mere self, merely level self on your aggregate. What is that? Merely level self, merely level prayer wheel, merely level cat. Now, like what it means, what the mere exclude what? Mere exclude independent existence. There's no independent existence, everything dependent, interdependent. Am I making any sense? Or making you more confused? No? You can criticize me, that's okay, no problem. If I'm not making any sense, just say, Gisela, you are not making any sense. Everything you say is like nonsense, I don't mind. So then that's all my English, that's all my English can do. So then like I will start to speak Tibetan. So then you cannot blame me. This was that one second, lady. Yeah.
I heard something that. Hello. I heard something that seemed like very good instruction, but I am too stupid to follow it. And so I was wondering if you had any insight on this. Awareness, stillness, occurrence. The awareness is the mind watching stillness and occurrence. You need to watch the mind watching stillness and occurrence. What is the mind watching stillness and occurrence?
Okay, see, so that's very good question. See, awareness, that's it's kind of crazy. Being aware of awareness, being aware of awareness, being aware of awareness. Seeing doesn't mean being aware, you know. You could see the trees not being aware, you know. So when you're being aware, that means like you become more details. So now being aware of awareness, the same thing, focus, space between thought, same thing, different wording, same thing. Being aware of awareness. Now the question, who is being aware? I, Gishigele. You could say your name. I am being aware of awareness. That's correct. So now I'm being aware of awareness. So now you are being aware of awareness. Beginning, it's kind of like murky or kind of like not really clear, you know, like all kinds of thoughts comes out. Eventually, it becomes like still clear water. Understand? Still clear water. The water, all the dust settle down means all the thought kind of like settle down. All the thought kind of settle down like dust in the water. Mayo tambe chunang mayo. So then now you are being aware of awareness. Before it's like not really clear and all kind of things. Now eventually it becomes like still clear water. See? Who's doing that? You. So now you need to analyze. So that the awareness that analyzing is like the small fish in the water, small fish in the water. That's the separate set of awareness. It's not big fish, the small fish. It's navigating under the water without disturbing the water. Water has not been moved by fish. Very skillful man again. So that is the awareness that being analyzing, checking your meditation is still clear water or it's like a little bit moving or it's getting a little bit murky or analyzing. How that still clear, still water get murky? Oh, what you're analyzing, awareness, there's nothing to analyze. You're just trying to be aware of awareness. There's nothing to analyze because there's no shape, no color. If there's no shape, no color, you can analyze. No, so there's nothing to analyze. You're just being aware, trying to be aware of your awareness. There's nothing to analyze, nothing to judge, nothing to fix. It's just awareness. So then how that become murky? Slowly it could be, there's possibility your meditation could become murky or maybe water start to move. How that happens? Oh, therefore you need this tiny fish in the still clear water. You need tiny fish, navigate, analyzing. Navigate means analyzing. What happened? You may get excitement, that mind may become like monkey. So then that's the one way the water get murky, monkey. Or being so cozy, how is it cozy?
Cozy.
Being so cozy with your meditation, eventually then that's like not meditating, kind of falling asleep. That's called what's called falling asleep. There's no meditation, falling asleep. If you sit there, probably you could sit. I'm not sure how expert you are taking nap with like this kind of positions. Monks, we are very expert. We could take good nap like this. We don't need much space. But that's not the meditation. It's like the napping. Like. Eventually, you wake up. You just wake up yourself, snoring like. So that's something to that's how the water gets, what is moving unclear, it's not now, it's no more longer clear. It's kind of like not clear because you are not being awareness because you are napping. So that's the, okay, that's the simple like thing like that. Meditate, eventually your meditation becomes like still clear water, doing very well. Then it's tiny fish, analyze. If you get too excited, water start to move. If you like falling asleep, then they're no longer it's called clear. It's not clear. It could be still not moving, but it's not clear. So that means you are not fully, you are not fresh, fully awake. So then that could, what's the risk? It could become like habit. So then eventually that your meditation become like taking nap. So then it's not good. Oh yeah, Dr. Brown. Yeah.
When I hear I know, for example, in the Theravada tradition, and sometimes Zen too, I've heard some emphasis on the space between thoughts, space around thoughts. You hear that in those venues and teachers, but I mean, for me, there's always space between thoughts. It's not like now here we just, the instruction is to notice that there's a space between thoughts, to notice the space, but it's always there. But most of the time, I'm so identified with the thoughts, my ego, that there's no awareness of the space. But it's in the moments where I notice the impermanence of these thoughts. Every thought has a beginning, middle, and an end, and then it goes away, and then before the next one rolls in, there is that spaciousness that if I can be aware of it, then there's an opportunity to choose. And that's when thought transformation particularly comes in handy, because we don't have any awareness of space between thoughts. When anger begins to, that discomfort and anger begins to rise in the mind, if we don't notice that arising and experience there's a space there to choose not to follow that mind, or to see it in use a different kind of reasoning to let go of it. So again, everything is always changing, constantly changing. Thoughts come, thoughts go, and in that space, there's an opportunity. Now, when we get calm abiding, there are no thoughts, right? So the whole process of shine, or developing calm abiding, is as the more we practice, the fewer thoughts intrude into our practice until there are no thoughts. And then we can focus single-pointedly on one thing. So, but that's all conventional mindset. The ultimate, it really, whether it's a emptiness practice or a practice based on conventional reality, depends on the mind of the meditator. If I'm seeing the emptiness of thoughts and the emptiness of self and the emptiness of the space between thoughts, that would, to me, would be sort of in the ballpark of practicing, using that practice to develop a awareness of emptiness. But just in terms of conventional reality, conventional mind, most of the time when we're doing that practice, we're just doing it with our conventional mind, not ultimate mind, ultimate reality kind of thinking. That makes sense?
Is it a question or like a compliment?
Both. I mean, does it make sense?
Makes sense.
Not the ultimate.
Yeah,
we're not
makes sense.
meditating with a consciousness is aware of emptiness when we're noticing thoughts or the space between thoughts. When we're, someone who's realized emptiness still has thoughts, but they're having the constantly be aware of the emptiness of thoughts and the emptiness of the space between thoughts. Completely different experience.
Makes sense. Make 100% sense. Yeah, make 100% sense. So there's no thought, probably like eventually like one thought, for no thought technically is incorrect, no thought is impossible. No thought, that's probably maybe your body is like, if there's this body, no thought, then that body become crops. So that like no thought, probably one thought, only one thought. So like one thought corresponding with one object, no multiple, just one. One thought, one object. Then peace, mental peace, experience mental peace. Too many thoughts, hard to experience mental peace. Mental can be in peace because too much going on. In order to experience mental peace, make sure there's less thing going on. As much as possible. Best way to do, how to best, no concern, shouldn't have any concern, expectations, or expectations and worry. If you're worrying, your meditation is not going to become like still clear water. There's too much worry. Or maybe you're expecting too much, or that become obstacles. Just to be, how you say, just to be, baby looking at things, nothing to come in, just see as it is, good or bad, no, just see as it is, like that, or like a big bird gliding. If your meditation become like this all the time, trying to fly, it's not skillful. It's too much effort. You need to glide. Once a while, few, then glide like that. So there's shouldn't have any stress, concern, expectations. So then Dr. Brown is right. That's like we are not looking for space between thought. It's already there. It's not. It's all the time there. The problem is not being aware. Oh. So what else? What else? Open the house or no? Yeah.
This is going back to the self.
Uh,
In the West here, like emptiness, we have our own definition of what emptiness is, and so therefore it's really hard for us sometimes to understand what emptiness is from a Buddhist perspective. Also with the self, because of our religious background, self to us means soul or spirit. So for a lot of people have difficulty with that when I talk about no self, because they're saying, well, you're saying that I don't have a soul or I don't have a spirit, and I guess ultimately we don't have a soul or a spirit, but it's really hard to explain no self to Westerners. I really try very hard in the prisons, but it's really hard to explain that one.
that's good. So I think like you can't just rely on what I explained about emptiness. This is not enough. This is not enough. Sorry to say. First of all, I don't speak fluent English, and I can say everything that I want to say. I cannot say in English. On the other hand, you don't speak Tibetan. There's problem after problems. So now there are many books written. Western, you don't have philosophy about shunyata, emptiness. You don't. So that's the truth. So instead of just rely on my word, probably it's good to read the books about shunyata or emptiness by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Read because you are smart. You can learn. Why not? You can learn. So then saying no self it's mistake. It's mistake. Should not say no self. There is self. Otherwise, so now the best thing to tell them is analyze. Analyze how you define yourself. Analyze. Oh, I don't know how to analyze. Oh, there's a book that guide you step by step. Oh, according to Master Shantideva's Guide to Buddhist Way of Life, chapter number 9 talks about emptiness. This book has been translated into English, chapter number 9. Sodan tosin dharma. I'm not my teeth, I'm not my nail, I'm not my hair. It's guided meditation. Dani, river, I'm not my bone, I'm not my blood, I'm not my snot. Probably nobody thinks that you are snot. No. So that's a guided meditation. Not me. I'm not my sicknesses, disease. I'm not my headache, sicknesses. There's one specific sickness has been mentioned, but doesn't matter. Could be headache, could be like anything. No, not in the liquid. I'm not liquid inside the body. Sure. Am I my flesh? No. Am I my skin? No. Am I my heat that inside the body? No. Am I oxygen that I'm breathing? Am I that? No. Am I whole inside my body? Space. Am I space within my body? No. Am I my awareness? Am I my eye consciousness? Am I my ear consciousness? Am I my nose consciousness? Am I my tongue consciousness? Am I meaning what that means? Am I taste that I like something that tastes flavor? Am I something that smells? Am I something that hears? Am I something that sees? Am I something that feels when you touch, rub it smooth? Go through that. What happens? That's how you analyze. So the best thing, Andrew, is to ask them to analyze. Let's not talk about soul or self. Just ask them to analyze how you define yourself. And ask them what happened when you meditated, what happened? What's your conclusion? What kind of conclusion you reach? What do you find? Do you find self? You could say no. Does that mean self doesn't exist? No, self do exist because the self is the one analyzing. Self is the one analyzing. If you can't say who's analyzing, you can't say my hand is analyzing. That's not true. Self is analyzing. So now, do you find nothing? So now, I read emptiness. About emptiness, this book, and this book says like I could not wrap my head around. It says not seeing is the best way of seeing. Am I reaching there? Am I seeing the best? Maybe. Seeing this is the best way of seeing? Probably not. It's not the best of seeing. Now, the conclusions. What is your conclusions? Cannot find. Does that mean it doesn't exist? Maybe that's how it exists. That's how it exists. That's how it exists. Other way around, that's not how it exists. That's just your idea. It's just your idea. It's not how that exists. Now that this is how it exists, it's not your idea, it's brand new that you're experiencing conclusion. So now it's almost like idea of yourself is kind of like dismantling, reshaping, disfiguring, how you say this? Disfiguring, reshaping, dismantling. Maybe like layer after layer, it's kind of shading away. How is it?
Shaving away?
Yeah, shading away layer like onion, layer after layer, layer after layer, layer after layer. All the things that you think that you are is wrong. Oh, I thought I doesn't look good. I'm so bad. No, that's not you. Oh, I don't look good. I'm not pretty. Like I'm like this and that. This is just your idea. It needs to, how you say, it needs to peel. Yeah, yeah, stripping away all the conceptions. What happens? Pure, pure. Nothing to judge. First of all, you can't find nothing to judge. Not seeing, maybe you are seeing the best, not seeing. Oh, that is self. Does it sound like now? Comes to the conclusions more looks like a merely label. Yeah. So then, why you become so serious? It's just label. It's just label. It's just label. You know. You could write something, oh, so bad, put it there. Somebody say, oh, so bad, it's just merely label. Merely label. So, do you think there's some benefit experiencing merely label self? Everything that you think that you is no longer you. Ultimate. So that's like, see, ultimate level, there's no pure, impure. There's no impure. Everything's pure. There's no impure. Ultimate level, conventional level, oh, there's all kind of things. Conventional level, ultimate level, this all pure, pure nature, pure nature. So there's no. If somebody say, "Oh, I don't know how to analyze," that's how you analyze. That's how you analyze. That's how you say. So many layers, idea of yourself, and like labels. This, that. There's so many layers that your true nature has been completely buried barrier under the 1,000 feet under the ground, and don't believe that it's there. Diamond under the ground, you can't say it's not there because you have to discover. It's like a diamond that wrapped under the dirty cloth, all dirty cloth. Nobody believes there's diamond inside. There is diamond. All this idea, all like me, like all this and that, like all bad, all kind of things. Then how you correspond, how you go beyond layers, which is called conventional reality, how you go beyond. There's no way to go beyond because you're stuck. You believe, not just see. Everybody sees people who experience that they see, you see, I see. There's no problem. Believing what you see, that creates problems. Believing. Like magicians create something. Wow, how that happened? Like so, like energized, so get so excited. Magician, do they see? They see too. What's the difference between you and magicians? Magician doesn't believe what he or she sees. You believe what you see. You believe, not just see. You are fool. Sorry. Sorry. Not just you, including myself too. Not just you. Sorry, I'm just wasting your time here. So, yeah, stop. That time is over now. Thank you, Fernando, and like Marcelo, translating people in Patagonia. Thank you. Yeah.
We turn to page 246 in the Gold Prayer Book, and let's read the dedication verses from Master Shantideva. May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, obtain a notion of happiness and joy by virtue of our merits. May no living creature suffer, commit evil, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled, with a mind weighed down by depression. May the blind see forms and the deaf hear sounds. May those whose bodies are worn with toil be restored on finding repose. May the naked find clothing, the hungry find food. May the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth, those weak with sorrow find joy. May the forlorn find hope, constant happiness, and prosperity. May there be timely rains and bountiful harvests. May all medicines be effective and wholesome prayers bear fruit. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from their ailments. Whatever diseases there are in the world, may these never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting each other. For as long as space remains, for as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. Now the long life prayer, first on page 244 for His Holiness, the Dalai Lama. And the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All-powerful Chenrezig Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. And on page 245 for Khenchen Rinpoche Jetsun Losang Delek, the one who mastered his speech at a very young age, the one with great patience who received the name Avatare, the one with great precision who spread the teachings of Lama Tsongkhapa on bliss and void, Lama ornament of the Yellow Hat tradition, please remain until samsara ends. And then on the back cover of the gold prayer book, the prayer for the swift return of Lama Tsongkhapa, peerless teacher and assembly of the children of victorious one, Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas, victorious Losang father and sons, along with the lineage masters, all the objects of refuge of the infinite lands, please bestow the virtue and goodness of accomplishing this prayer here and now. Holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teachings through explanation and practice, you wore the armor of patience that is never discouraged. Incomparable, venerable Guru, to you I make request. While striving single-pointedly for the sake of the victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, and from other living beings, you suddenly departed to peace. What a great loss! Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the three jewels and the great ways of bodhicitta of the children of victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beam in glory for fortunate disciples. Then the long life prayer for Geshe-la and Geshe Sampo. Om Tare Tu Re Soha. 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 Om Tare Tu Re Soha.
Thank you very much. So please stay cool, physically, mentally. So how's the weather in Patagonia? Patagonia, cold or hot? Oh, the Marcel is speaking without language. Can I understand? Marcel is speaking without word. Okay. Cold, okay. Send some cold here.
Gracias, Marcelo. Gracias a todos.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you.